Julia from the Ida Public Library here with another microwave mastery for you this week. Last week we tried making some macaroni and cheese and that turned out all right. This week we're going to go something a little slightly bit more complicated. We're actually going to try baking in the microwave. You might remember the last time I said cooking is an art, but baking is a science. That is pretty true. Cooking, you can kind of fudge the amounts a little bit here and there, and it won't really make too much of a difference. However, with baking, you have to be a little bit more careful about the portions of everything, or else you're going to get a totally different texture, or even however it's going to come out differently. So today we are going to be making it's called a cinnamon roll mug cake. It's not really a true cinnamon roll because we're not going to be rolling out dough, covering it with the cinnamon mixture, and then rolling it up. We're just going to be making it all in one microwave safe mug and then cooking it in the microwave. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started here. Pull up my recipe. All right. So I've already got all of my materials, all of my ingredients portioned out in my cute little containers here. So we're going to start. By greasing the inside of our microwave safe mug. Again, make sure that it is microwave safe. You can spray inside it with cooking oil, or you can just rub a little bit of butter inside. I've got a little extra butter here, so I'm just going to use a little bit of that. And I will go ahead and just grease the inside here. So yeah, just do your best to get it a little bit greased inside. It's probably going to stick a little to the mug anyways. That's okay. You're going to be digging it out with your fork. All right, so we can just work directly in our mug. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. You can also use the same amount of pancake mix. I just got flour. So again, I've got mine portioned out already. Okay. We're going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And it's baking powder, not baking soda. There is a difference. Then we're going to need 2 tablespoons of milk. I've always got a lot more than that in here. It's a little bit more difficult to portion that out. So we're just going to do 2 tablespoons of milk here. And we're going to do a tablespoon of maple syrup. I'll try to get as much of that out as we can. It's very sticky. Okay. All right, then we're going to use a teaspoon, just a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And you can't really see it in there because it's a very tiny bit, but a little bit of vanilla extract goes a long way. And all right, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to mix that together. I'm just going to use my fork here. And you know what I did forget? I forgot our butter. So we're going to have to melt the butter. If you don't want to melt your butter, you can also substitute oil. So just like a coconut oil or a vegetable oil. And you're going to need a tablespoon of that. And I will have the link to the recipe I'm using in the video. So if you don't want to have to listen very carefully for all of my amounts, you can find it in there. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to heat up and melt this butter in the microwave. It should only take about 10 seconds. Okay, add that butter in there. All right, get all these little containers out of the way. And mix that up into a nice little dough. Really try to scrape down to the bottom so you make sure you incorporate all of the flour. Otherwise, you're going to have little chunks of flour in there. Okay. I'll bring this up. It's going to look a little bit like this, kind of thick. You can add a little bit more milk if it looks too thick, but go really slow with it. Okay. Then you're going to take a tablespoon of brown sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Again, cinnamon goes pretty far, pretty fast. I actually already have that mixed together in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and I already used my fork, so I'm gonna try to whisk it together with my knife here. I might pull another fork out. A pro cooking tip is if something asks for a whisk and you don't have a whisk, a fork works just as well. Yeah. So from sitting in this container for a while, this brown sugar has gotten pretty clumpy, but that is okay. So once you got that all mixed up, you can actually just go ahead and sprinkle that right into the center of your dough. This is kind of thick. I might add a little bit more milk to this. Again, if you're going to add a little bit more milk, go maybe about a 1/2 tablespoon at a time. Just a little bit. You don't want it to get mushy. Okay. Okay, just go ahead, sprinkle this right on top. And you can go ahead and use your knife to just kind of swirl it into the batter. It's not really coming together neatly as it looks for them in the video, or not the video, the recipe, but that's okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, so this is how mine is looking right now. It's not quite as swirly and nice as theirs in the image if you look at their recipe. So now that we're pretty much done, we just gotta go ahead and stick it in the microwave. So they're cooling for 1 minute and 25 seconds. I'm gonna just put it in for 1 minute and keep an eye on it, and then I'll put it in for a little longer if it looks like it needs a little more time. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, so I'll go ahead and show you. This is what mine's looking like. It's not as full because I think I have a much bigger mug than they use in their recipe. But let's go ahead and give it a shot. Try. So looks like we got a nice fluffy little dough there. I don't know if it's focusing on my my close-up. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. I'm a little surprised. It tastes like a cinnamon roll. Yeah, so this one turned out, I think, a little bit more successfully than our macaroni and cheese did. Again, if you would like to try this recipe yourself, please share your results with us and tag it with hashtag Ida's Microwave Masters. Anybody who shares with us throughout the month of March is going to be entered into a raffle to win a cookbook. We're going to be giving out, I believe it's the Super Easy Cookbook for Teens. So it's not a microwave cookbook, but hey, if you're succeeding at this, you might want to start trying some non-microwave cooking in the future. All right, well, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next week for another Microwave Mastery. Bye-bye.